What will RV and camping season be like this year?
This is the good life. Oh, 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 oh. This is the good life. Oh, oh, oh. Out in the sunshine, nothing but good times. This is the good life. This is the good life.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Cherie.
And we're EnjoyTheJourney.Life. Our channel is all about RV living
And traveling full time.
And if you're brand new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And be sure to ring that bell and stick around to the end because we want your opinion on something.
So we're going to give you our tips and predictions, kind of look into our crystal ball about what we think the camping season's going to be like.
Ooh, crystal ball.
And we're also sharing comments from our Facebook group page as well as some of your YouTube comments in this video as well. We actually think RVing and camping is going to be even more popular this year.
Right.
Yeah, other kinds of travel right now just doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I mean, think about cruises and airline travel. Even traveling across the country and staying in hotels doesn't even sound appealing.
Right, you don't know how well that hotel room was cleaned. As opposed to your RV.
Right.
You cleaned it last.
You know who was in it last.
Well, social distancing is going to be the name of the game for the summer as well as maybe the rest of the year.
We just don't know how long.
And we actually think RVing and camping is naturally social distancing.
Yes, it is. We're pros at this.
And speaking of social distancing, you can check out our brand new t-shirts that we had made up just for this season. And speaking of shirts, we are on the Beach Tribe for a while right now, so you're happy.
Love it.
Beaches are going to be reopening here
soon.
Very
Counting
soon.
The days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, my Mountain Tribe people, we actually have brand new Beach Tribe and Mountain Tribe shirts.
Yep.
And you can check those down, a little scroll down below the video here or in the link in the description below. As we've said in other videos, we think it's important to get out here in nature, in the sun.
Yeah.
Not sunny today,
fresh air and sunshine, absolutely.
Right, and exercise.
Yep.
I think there's going to be safe ways to camp this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some of that in this video. Just do it responsibly and suited up, mask and gloves and all of that. But we think this season is going to look different with social distancing. We've heard that some of the public restrooms are going to be closed in campgrounds and RV parks.
Yeah.
As well as playgrounds and just other public areas people would congregate. Even some of the campground stores are going to be closed.
Some parks are going to be self-contained only, so it's going to make it kind of hard for the tent campers.
Right, you're really going to have to verify your camping plans and what you can actually do wherever you plan to go. And another reason we think RVing and camping is going to be more popular this season is the pent-up demand.
Right.
I don't know about you, and a lot of us are tired of the lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, granted,
over it.
It's been for a good reason, and some of you are still in lockdown and some of you are getting out. It just depends on what part of the country. But with millions of people out of work and no school for kids, I mean, people are wanting to get out there like as quick as possible.
Right, they are. Yeah, so there's that campground in Ohio, the Jellystone campground.
Right, that was given the okay to reopen kind of unexpectedly, and within 3 hours they sold out 155 campsites.
Crazy.
And I think that's going to be happening everywhere like that.
Yeah, pent up demand for sure. Here's a comment from our Facebook group page, and it's from Tom, and he says, as soon as something opens, we are off for some R&R.
We hear that, Tom, and we know a lot of you feel the same way. And one of the reasons demand, I think, is going to be up this year is because the camping, the traditional camping and RV season for a lot of you out there is starting later. It's been delayed.
Right.
So maybe shaving off a couple weeks to a month or more. So people are trying to jam into just a few months.
Yeah.
Especially our northern friends, like up in Minnesota. for example.
I know. They've been waiting for this time of year.
Now here's our tips for camping and RVing this season. So the first tip is make sure you get all of your regular maintenance done while you're maybe still have your RV at your house right now.
Right, take advantage of that time. Another comment from our Facebook group is from Kevin, and he says, we have ours in the driveway and now doing some maintenance and upgrades. Can't wait to get out. Just say the word and we are off.
Somebody else that can't wait to get going.
I think there's a lot of people that feel that way.
And another recommendation that we heard is to maybe travel closer to home. Actually, in my home state of Minnesota, the Department of Natural Resources is actually recommending that.
Another comment on our Facebook group page is from Chip, and he says, we camp every year over 4th of July, hoping we still can, but if not, the area is close enough that we can just drive to it every day.
Yeah, we've heard that from other people too, that even if they can't bring the RV out, that they're still going to plan to take those day trips.
Yes. Another thing you want to do is plan your whole trip. Don't fly by the seat of your pants like we used to do.
Yeah, totally. Have a plan B, have a plan C, and maybe even more backup plans.
Plan D, E, F.
Because you really don't know what's going to happen until right before you leave.
You want to be as flexible as possible and really make flexible your middle name.
Absolutely. You may have to change your plans because of like if hot spots arise out of the virus or something like that.
And from Steven on Facebook. Steven says, we start the end of June until 9/2. Hope they let the campground open up.
For sure, Steven.
Eric says, we have reservations starting May 15 in Lakeport, Michigan. Have not received any cancellation notices yet, hoping we can go.
We'll cross our fingers as well for you, Eric.
And Raymond says, hopefully we have 6 weeks reserved as long as they open the campground up.
Right on.
Yeah, and then from YouTube, a comment, Jimmy says, state parks are opening May 1st, reservations for campsites May 11 in South Carolina.
That's good to know.
Right.
And here in Florida, we've actually heard the state park campgrounds are going to reopen on June 1st.
Yes.
And we actually did have some reservations into June at some of the state parks, but I went ahead and canceled those. Just a small cancellation fee through the Reserve America system. And as we've mentioned in other videos, we have a monthly spot in this area because of
Beach
this.
Tribe, of course.
So get lots and lots of Beach Tribe stuff in here, and then we'll see what happens when we move on.
Yeah.
Mountains, maybe?
Sure.
And now it's rainy. We're going to have to record inside.
Yay.
Bye, beach. Back inside, we're going to finish the video in here. Cherie's not feeling well, so it's just you and me. While you're planning your trip, you're going to want to check the campground closures many times to make sure there hasn't been any changes. We have our favorite RV apps listed down in the description. Check those out. There's also some great blog posts that are constantly updated with the campgrounds and RV parks that are closed. So we'll link to those as well down in the description. And before you actually leave, make sure you actually call the campground. I wouldn't even necessarily rely on online checking. Actually call them to make sure there isn't any closures that you are not aware of. And we've actually heard of some RV parks being told they have to limit their capacity to 50%, and that may also affect reservations that you already have. And before you hit the road, check for travel restrictions. As different states here in the US open up at different times, some may have travel restrictions, so check on that before you hit the road. Also, before you hit the road, try to stock up on your entire amount of supplies and food that you need for the entire trip, if it's a short trip. If you're going to a remote location, some stores might be closed, may not have what you need, and it's just better to have as much of what you think you're going to need for all of that before you hit the road. And again, that's just for a short trip. And practice safety at fuel stations as well. If you need to fill up, use gloves, or make sure you have a Clorox wipe like what I do when I'm filling up at an outside pump. I pay outside so I don't have to go in. Plus, when you get to your campsite, you might think about using gloves or a Clorox wipe on the water faucet as well as the power pedestal when you're hooking up your electric. When you're all set up at your campground or RV park and you're ready to get out and do some adventuring, see if you can hit some of those places in the off-peak hours. For example, maybe during the middle of the week will be less busy as on the weekend. If you get to an area, maybe some great scenery or something like that, and it looks too busy, too packed with people, maybe you don't want to go into that area if you don't think you can maintain your social distancing. For example, Cherie and I are getting ready to go out on the beach when they are open, and we know it's difficult out there on the beach to always practice social distancing. But if it's too busy, we're not going to be on the beach. It'll be hard to keep Cherie off that beach though. As we've mentioned before, we are not experts. This is just our opinion. And speaking of that, we want to hear from you. What are your plans this summer or the main regular camping season or RV season? Are you changing your plans, or is it full steam ahead? Let us know down in the comments. We want to hear from you. And again, if you're brand new to our channel, hit that subscribe button, ring that little bell. That way you never miss a video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. We appreciate that. And Cherie and I hope that you stay safe and healthy during this time. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.